Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. God has hidden unlimited treasures in His Word. Every time we open it, we can discover a new treasure, or admire an old one. What will we find today? Let's dig in. Here's Carla Early with Treasure Hunt in the Word.
My mom was always big on giving thank you notes. But when I was a kid, I hated to write them. I'd sit down with my stack of Christmas thank you notes in early January and agonize over each one. I'd write something boring like, "Thank you for the doll." And then I'd sit there and stare at the paper trying to think of what else to say, especially if it was something I didn't really like. Sometimes I wanted to write, "Please don't send me anything for Christmas next year so I won't have to write a thank you note." It wasn't that I wasn't grateful for the gift. Even the things I couldn't use or didn't like came from someone who loved and cared about me. And even at a young age, I understood that was special and came from their heart. But I had a hard time being creative and thanking them. If I just thought of one interesting statement to add to the boring thank you part, I felt triumphant. Like, "Thank you for the doll. I braided her hair and called her Catherine." Or, "Thank you for the dictionary. Don't you think they should have had a picture of you next to the word magnanimous?" Paul didn't have that problem. He came up with 4 chapters worth of a thank you note to the Philippians. The church in Philippi had heard that Paul ended up in Rome under house arrest. They immediately sent one of their members with a monetary gift for him. Likely, the church didn't know his particular circumstances, and no one knew what the outcome of his trial would be, but they knew he was in need, so they jumped to fulfill that need. Now, travel in those days involved many months of treacherous sea journeys and overland roads fraught with thieves and other dangers. They couldn't be sure their gift would even arrive at its destination. In fact, while in transit, or soon after he arrived, their courier, Epaphroditus, fell ill to the point of death. That's the last they had heard. So Paul sent Epaphroditus back to them, safe and sound, with this special letter thanking them for their thoughtful, loving response to his need. He wasn't just thankful for their gift and the spirit in which they gave it, though. He thanked God for them and the memories he had of how they had believed and partnered with him in getting the gospel out to others. Their faithfulness in standing by him and other Christians glorified God. Paul let them know how he fared, even though he still didn't know the outcome of his trial. He also gave them advice to rejoice as he did, even in his precarious situation as a prisoner about to appear before Nero. The little letter Paul wrote to the Philippians is chock full of theological treasures. But as a thank you letter, it gives me some great ideas in writing thank you notes myself. First, let them know how happy the gift made you. Philippians 4:10 says, "I rejoiced greatly that your care for me has flourished again." It wasn't just the gift that made Paul happy, but their concern and love for him. The second idea for writing thank you notes that I got was to let them know you treasured the gift and how it made you feel and how it honored God. Paul says in Philippians 4:18, "I am full, having received from Epaphroditus the things sent from you, a sweet-smelling aroma, an acceptable sacrifice, well-pleasing to God." The third idea in writing thank you notes is to thank God for those who gave the gift and the memories you have in common. Paul began his letter with, "I thank my God upon every remembrance of you." As you read Philippians today, I'd love to hear how you could apply Paul's letter to your thank you notes.
You can contact us at treasurehuntintheword@gmail.com. Also, if you'd like to share a treasure God has given you by doing an episode, please contact us. You can listen to other episodes on our website, which you'll find in the description below. Thanks for listening, and remember, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.